Olivia did make brief landfall over northwest Maui and then over Lanai as it continues to move a little bit more westward. Now, current sustained winds still at 45 miles an hour. So again, we did see landfall, and the first landfall for Maui that we were talking about on record for a tropical storm ever since record keeping began in 1950s. So here's what we're looking at. The current track, it is going to move away from the state. It looks like potentially this track is a little bit further to the north than what we were looking at before, scooting just to the south of Oahu, it looks like, through the rest of today. That second icon that we're looking at is Wednesday at 8 p.m., and it looks like we're going to be seeing those tropical storm force winds. Now, take a look at the rainfall, because again, we do have very heavy showers moving through right now. Widespread, definitely true as well, and that's the case for us here even on Oahu, but of course definitely the case for what we're seeing across Maui County, where we still have those very heavy showers, some of which are making their way onshore to Molokai right there. Take a look in the last couple of frames right there, starting to see some of those move through. But again, it's really, that's where we're seeing the bulk of the rainfall across Molokai and across Maui. We do still have that flash flood warning. Tropical storm warning does continue for Oahu and Maui County, and again, that flash flood watch is in effect for the entire state. Wind advisory still posted for Niihau and Kauai.
The first official tropical storm landfall on the island of Maui since modern record keeping began back in the 1950s. Now, that location where it made landfall is about 10 miles northwest of us right now, and accordingly we are getting a light southwest wind, which as storms flow in a counterclockwise direction, that does mean we're now officially on the backside of the storm here. Now, we're just getting light winds because that southwest wind is getting interrupted by some mountains that direction our way, but it's been really kind of dramatic. Let me step out of the way, show you the scene behind us. Been dramatic because we have periods of clear skies interrupted by really dark clouds. We're looking back over my shoulder toward the airport, high surf here in the harbor between me and the airport, and also of course the mountains in the background illuminated by some periods of clear sky, which is not uncommon to see in the middle of a tropical storm, even one as ragged as this one. Now, out to the left here, let's pan out toward those rain bands. You saw some clearing near the mountains. Can't help but think that these rain bands are staying just offshore from the harbor here because of the rain shadow effect of the mountains. That mountain there on the east side of the island of Maui getting hammered by rain, but it kind of rains out as it flows our way on the leeward side. Those rain bands to the left here you're looking at over the open ocean, that is the center of Tropical Storm Olivia, just a few miles to our northwest, as you heard a moment ago, officially making landfall. And those rain bands, the heaviest of the stuff at least, they've really just been teasing us here in town, staying just offshore. And again, the heaviest of the rain, of course, just offshore near the center and also in the mountainous regions on the eastern side of the island from what we've seen so far. So, as the rain continues to fall here, the winds are still shifting in town as the center makes progress past us. It does look, and we'll have to confirm this in studio where they have a better look at radar, it does look like the center of the storm has made its closest pass here to town that it will make as it continues in a westerly direction, now northwest of where we stand here today. So the storm, of course, certainly not over. Oahu now in its path as it continues in a westerly direction. Really just, it's been an interesting dance to watch this thing move around the mountains, move from the west side of the island to the north side of the island, and I suspect it might have some more surprises up its sleeve for us here in the next 24 hours.
The difficulty during rain situations is it gets a little bit dicey working in the rain, so it's a little slower for our crews to operate through. As Chris is saying, very, very important for everybody to understand. If you don't need to be on Hana Highway, please don't be there today. We know that the storm is just starting up. It's going to get worse, and there's going to be more landslides, more tree falls in that area. It would be best to avoid the area.
So even though things may be looking good right now, you never know what will happen. So if you have to stay off the roads, or if you can, just do so. Just stay at home and stay where you are, basically.
Absolutely. And it's going to be worse because Lane just came through, wetted the slopes already. It's going to be a lot more moisture coming through that the slopes can't handle. So we expect a lot more landslides coming through that area.
Okay, speaking of that, what about on Oahu? Because we've seen problems here as well.
Absolutely. So on Oahu, we're looking at the areas that we normally have issues. The Kamehameha Highway areas where our bridges, where we normally see the flooding. We expect to see those things. This is going to be a heavy rainfall event throughout the state. Although it's looking like Kauai and Big Island won't get hit as hard,